Okay, Yamamura got himself killed again.
He's not a really strong NPC, sadly.
Visceral attack them to death.
Go for it. Whatever works for you.
So far, that seems to be what's working.
I'll definitely help you a lot with waiting needs.
Come on, you ugly sons of bitches. Oh, I died. They ganged up on me. I tried to be on the left and they all wandered over there and they would not stop spamming their spells. I almost got him this time, though. That part worked.
Well, that's good. You know, as long as every time you go in you make more progress, that's what counts.
Yep. Yeah, they all started wandering over. They're faster than I thought.
Oh, now my bell wants to work. Okay. Stupid bell.
Ugh.
We want to try your bell one more time to see if it works.
Yep.
Just standing here looking at this damn card.
Okay, I'm at the gate again.
At the doors?
Yep, the boss doors.
Okay, well I'm here too, so.
Okay. ARK, please work, game. Please work. Ugh. Nothing's happening.
That is so odd.
Wait a minute. No, it's somebody else. I think. Nah, it's showing me other players, but it's just the regular white shadow versions. For specters. Yeah, I don't get it. It's not working like it did before.
Very, very, very odd.
Ugh. It worked perfectly fine before, so I don't know why it's being slow now.
Who knows? Who knows? Well, we tried.
Yeah, it's all that matters. At least you tried. Well, now that I know that viscerals work wonders, I'm gonna use that instead of...
Do you have a claw mark room? Like one?
I believe I do.
Okay. Because you tend to parry a lot, that's a good room to have. And one.
Wait a minute. Bell ringing one wins a serious bell. Did it work?
Couldn't have, I exited.
Oh.
I don't know why it won't work with that character. I suppose the only other character would work would be the one that just made, but I'm still having the game with them.
I hate it when the game does that. You think you have all their health diminished, but nope, they have one little 0.1% left, and they fuck you over anyway. I hate that.
That's why you have to be extremely careful.
Ugh, I visceraled one, and before I knew it, I was getting mauled by the meteors like the friggin' behemoth. Like come on, man. I already had to put up with one monster that is cheap with that. I don't need another one. Getting behemoth flashbacks and they're not pleasant. Ugh. Ugh. Fuck the behemoth. And fuck those things too. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I thought I was... At first I enjoyed fighting behemoth, but then after a while it just became a tedious grind, and now I actually do hate it.
Yeah, I gave up on behemoth, honestly. I don't even care for the armor anymore at this point. Like I went back to Monster Hunter World yesterday just for fun. I was like, I'm just go back. It's been a couple of weeks since I played.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm just gonna hunt regular enemies and tempered monsters and shit. I'm fucking done with behemoth. I don't give a shit no more.
I get what they were trying to do with it, but it does not work in execution for me. To me, it's the worst DLC monster by far.
Oh yeah, I mean, even veterans are saying that it's just fucking terrible. I mean, that says a lot. Considering these are people who played from the very first game, so they're having trouble, and they face all types of shit. And for noobs, it must be like a fucking mess.
Yeah, when the veterans say it sucks, you know it's bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, these are people probably taking up like really difficult things too, so I trust their word when they say that it fucking sucks. Well, at least after the village, you only have one main boss in front. Well, two main boss. So, it's not too bad. I have the health visceral jewel on, so I'm gonna head back to Hunter's Dream, re-equip it, and then come back. Oh, you have the blood rapture?
Yeah, that one has been a lifesaver for getting health back.
I tend to like the claw mark more because it does a lot more damage when you visceral, and since I parry a lot, it definitely comes in handy.
I mean, the ones I tend to have equipped as by default are the extra blood vials because, well, extra health and extra health for getting my bullets back. And, of course, the extra blood echoes for killing enemies, because that allows me to buy everything at a better manner. Like, I use that combined with that one area in the lecture hall to grind all the enemies. I get like 20 or so thousand echoes per attempt. So I'm gonna keep the blood vial maximum. I'm gonna switch out the resistance all types for the visceral claw mark. Strengthens viscerals by 20%. And I'll go back to... Yeah, I've pretty much held on to the resistance ones because, you know, you never know. I don't know when I'll eventually run into poison or frenzy. I mean, you probably know because you've been through the game more times than I have, but you know.
Yeah, I tend to know the game pretty intimately now, but even then, I always tend to play cautious because you just never know.
Yup.
So, I don't allow myself to get cocky because that's when it all goes to shit.
Yeah, I'm not at Ninja Gaiden DMC level of knowing this game yet.
Oh no, it's perfectly normal to like die a lot first playthrough. I mean, even I still die from really stupid ways sometimes. I'm just like, I shouldn't have even died that way. I should know better, but it happens. You know, it's impossible to go, you know, through this game unless you practice it a shitload of times. Like people probably do like no hit runs and shit, but that's a different story.
Yeah, you gotta like be a slave to the game to master it at the way it wants.
Exactly. Yeah, so I mean, I just play because it's fun. You know, I don't particularly care for them. I mean, I can go through a lot of the game without dying so much than before, so that's pretty cool. But, I mean, I still died. Everyone does.
Yeah, but at least it's the good kind of slaving, because you know what to do and where you're gonna go. Honestly, the worst kind of games to be slaves to are multiplayer ones. Especially if they're so slow to progress.
Yeah, I can't stand those kind of games. This is why I'm always a single player kind of girl, because I can only... I mean, if people will kind of think like me in a sense, then it will be fine, but I've always sucked at working in groups, even when I was in school, so it just feels like very tedious to me.
Like, I do enjoy a handful of games with multiplayer, like the Halo series, but there are times where I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And the one that had my attention, probably the most for a considerable amount of time, was Halo Reach, because it had a progression system where you could unlock a bunch of armor extras and make your character look awesome. The problem is, as you got higher up in rank, the level up got very, very slow. And even worse, they added a credit system to the game, meaning you had to not only level up to, like, Lieutenant General or whatever, but you had to have, like, depending on how high you got, other armor pieces would level up that would say you had to be higher than you were, and on top of that, have a ludicrous amount of points to put into it. So it's like, honestly, that was what ruined the customization and the multiplayer for that game for me. It wants me to play too much. It wanted me to play like 10 years worth of game time just to unlock like one little, like a helmet or shoulder piece that I thought looked cool. Like, no, I've got better things to do.
Yeah, like that's too much. I can understand if you have to go through like some hard ordeal to get maybe one rare piece of armor. That's natural, you know. But if you have to slave away just to get one piece and not even a full armor set, then that's not worth it. Yeah,
I mean, my character is fine and all. Oh no, I may have accidentally woken up Dad by my accident because of my booming voice. Ugh. But yeah, I gave up trying to complete the customization to that game to completion because of how demanding it was. Okay, let's try this bit again, hopefully quieter.
If not, you could always try more.
Yep.
Though I'm not sure which one's more of a headache, him or the living affairs.
a winning strategy. I was so close to that one time. Yeah, what would you say is the worst boss in the whole game?
In the whole game,
DLC included.
I'd say Lawrence, in my sincere opinion. But see, the thing is, in my first playthrough, I did run into Lawrence, but I didn't beat him. I just left him alone. I didn't actually try to get this trophy until I was in New Game Plus 3, which was the stupidest mistake I could have ever made, because he can literally just one-shot you from just one hit. So
yeah.
And I struggled a bit with him, actually a lot. I almost cried when I beat him, to be honest with you. I should have known better. I'm like, I really should have even tried to attempt him.
Yeah,
that was my mistake.
Because they raised the difficulty.
Yeah, but when I did him again in my other character, on my first playthrough, I beat him first time, so I was like, I guess because I already had experience with him, that's how I knew, but when you're running blindly, then I would say he's tough. The toughest one. Now, Orphan of Cause is really tough too. His first, but he can be parried, which helps. So, but his second phase is what fucks you up because he's so erratic. It's like he moves all over the place. He has like no specific patterns. Like you can't, there's no way to really tell what he's gonna do. I think that's what makes him hard. You know, but his first phase, you can definitely tell what he's gonna do. He's really quick and he does like shortens distance a lot, but the first phase is pretty decent. It's just second phase where he really kicks you in the balls. Like, it's fucking stupid. Aside from that, let's see, what other bosses difficult? Well, Abrita is tough when you do her solo. She is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Who else? I'd say Gurman is pretty tough too because he's really fast. And he does hit really hard, but if you know how to parry, then he can be easier, but it's really hard to time it because he moves so fucking fast.
Another old part that moves fast.
Oh yeah. Now Moon Presence is tricky because he does have, there's one attack that makes him deadly, and that's, well, two. There's one that he does this weird light thing with his face, and it literally leaves you to 1 HP all the time when he does it.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you would try not to get hit by him. And he has like this numbing mist effect that if he hits you with something, you can't use your blood vials, which is really suck. But aside from that, to say he's difficult, no. He's just really, you just have to be careful with him, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Now, Mecha Lash can be hard too. It's, well, second phase because he does the Call Beyond spell. And he's pretty tricky because you have to make him go into a room to fight him. Which is why people get annoyed by him because he's not a straightforward boss. You know, you have to lure him into the room to fight him in. Otherwise, you'll be running around in circles in that whole room and it just gets tedious. Yep. So you have to know how to lure him there. And second phase is when he actually starts being aggressive with you. But if you have the lock shield, which I see that you do, then you're pretty much saved when he does that arcane shit because it won't one-shot you if you use that shield. So, so that's good. Because the first time I did it, I didn't have the lock shield because I hadn't even played the DLC. So, but he didn't really do that arcane bullshit. So I actually got lucky.
Well, given the how the game is made, you think the shield would be the last thing they have you use or allow you to use?
Yeah. I mean, I only use the lock shield because it's the only one that, in my opinion, is effective. I've never used a wooden shield, but yeah, I heard it has its uses, but I guess I'm just not a shield person in this game. Now, I think the only really difficult bosses I'll make you want to throw your controller across the room will be depths 4 and 5 chalice dungeons. Those, oh my god, like, those were fucking terrible. Like, if you thought Martin Logarius was tough, he is easy peasy compared to every boss in those depths, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you mentioned Loran, and then there's the
abhorrent
beasts.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're going by the Loran Dark Beast is, that fight is bullshit. This is, I don't even know how I beat him one time, but I did. That abhorrent beast is an asshole, complete asshole, cheap fucking bastard. Then the bloodletting beast is possibly one of the worst things you could ever fight. That shit. I don't even want to recall because that shit's gonna there's the watchdog of the old lords is a bitch, but that's only really in the cursed dungeon. I hate it. Yeah, and then Keeper of the old lords is not hard. You just have to marry the shit out of her, which is fine. Yarnum is not hard. It's Mariam Descendants count. So, like I said, there's a lot of weird bosses that you only encounter there that when you do it yourself, you only encounter them, but yeah, they're a mindfuck. But that's possibly why I like the challenge so much, because they're very deep. Yeah, you'll definitely, they can get repetitive, I will say, because they're like mazes, you know, so they can get very repetitive when you do them a lot, but I always think they're kind of fun to do anyway, because you find really cool stuff from there. Delivering failures are always difficult. What you could do is just try to use the shield more and, you know, just try to hit them. I mean, that could work.
Okay, those are not working for some reason. Now it is. actual clock tower key, and I am done for the night.
Well, next up is Lady Maria, so have fun.
Yo. And I think after her, I'll go after Lawrence, followed by the 5th one, whoever it is.
Orphan of Cause is the last one, so you only have those 3 left.
Yeah. Then after that,
Just
I'm gonna
warning, you can't summon for Lady Maria or Cause, only Lawrence.
Wait, what?
You can't summon for Lady Maria or Cause, there's no NPC summons for them.
There's no NPC summons for either Maria or Cause.
The only one you can summon for is Lawrence. You can summon Voltaire, from what I remember.
Ah, Voltaire. With his nice voice.
Oh yeah.
Especially for you, darling.
Absolutely.
Alright. I got the clock tower key. There was one doorway in the... You know that one area where normally it would have the giants walking around, but it has like the little werewolves running around with the hunters in the main outside the cathedral ward, or what used to be it. There's that one locked gate. Is there anything in there or no?
A locked gate.
Like, you walk out into the cathedral ward, and there's that area where it has the staircase leading to what used to the Grand Cathedral, but there's also where the giants used to be in normal, real old Yarnum. There's all the werewolves fighting, well, they're not fully formed wolves yet, but it's like the ones from old Yarnum, and they're all fighting the hunters. And there was that one little gate that's like on the side that's locked. I'm not sure. I wonder if there's anything in there.
That's a troll.
Oh, so it's just window dressing.
Yeah. It's one of those troll things.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of doors in the game where they'd be like closed, and you never find a key or an unlocked thing for any of them. So.
Yeah, those are permanently closed.
Yeah.
So there's no key for them. And sometimes people will drop messages like, "Oh yeah, you need a key," but it doesn't even go anywhere. So.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing I don't like about all the messages. They can be either helpful or they can fool you, and...
Oh, trust me, it's so much worse in Dark Souls. It's funny at the same time, because it's like, sometimes they tell you, oh yeah, there's an illusionary wall here, because there's a lot of those in Dark Souls, and you keep hitting the shit, and it never happens, nothing happens, then you end up looking, you feel stupid, you're like, I shouldn't have even believed that shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes the messages will be like, oh yeah, helpful, and sometimes it makes you question, like, I bet you some asshole just left this just to, like, mindfuck people or something.
If I recall correctly, how to get Rakuyo after being in Maria's in, like, this swamp area with, like, fish monsters. I'm guessing
the fishing hamlet. Yeah, that's the last area of the game. So, it's the well that you go down to be able to get the Rakuyo is literally not even that far away from the lantern. The only thing I will say is that be expected to die a lot, because the two creatures that are down there are the worst possible enemy you could face. They'll literally one-shot you. So, just like I said, just try to get the Rakuyo and try to get out, because that's the best way you can do it, in my opinion. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very, very stressful time.
So, sneak in there like I did with the garden earlier and run out. More or less.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what? From what I recall... Oh no, you can't. It's not an item that you can just get. I fucking forgot. You actually do have to defeat them. From what I remember. Oh yeah, you do have to defeat both of them for the Rakuyo to drop. Because I think, from what the lore says, one of them like ate it or some shit. So you would have to actually beat them. Well, there is a trick that I've seen people do. It's I don't think you have it, but it's something called a Shaman Bowblade.
No, I don't have that.
Well, you'll get that in the Nightmare of Menses. But what that does, if you stab an enemy with that, it will attack like its own kin instead of you. So I've seen people use that in that specific area where the Rakuyo is, and it does work, except it's pretty tricky to actually hit one of them with it.
Yeah.
So, like I
Yes,
said, you could try to do that. So.
That's the weapon that turns from a sword into a bow or whatever, right?
No, it's an item. It's just like bolt paper and fire paper, it's just an item.
Okay.
Yeah, so you would use that, like, on them. It's not a weapon.
Okay. Alrighty. So, research area done. The failures done. And, thank you for coming and helping, or trying to help, because the multiplayer failed this time.
Yeah.
Oh.
So. Well, let's hope it works next time if you need it. I mean, we could try to do it near the lantern instead. I've heard it works better there, so we could try that next time.
Yep. So, right, I also had, repaired and fortified my blade before I took him out the last time, and I think that also helped.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, let me switch. Higher blood volume maximum. I'm debating whether or not I should put back in the more blood echoes. I don't think it's worth it, honestly, because I'm gonna pile them anyway.
On what?
Blood echoes from finding all these stronger enemies, and at the frequency it is.
Yeah, you really don't need it in your first playthrough. That mostly tends to work when you're already like on New Game Plus and other stuff, because obviously the amount of echoes you need escalates like to a really high point. Like me on New Game Plus 3, like at the level I am right now, I need at least 400,000 souls to level up one time.
Yeah. I mean, I've used it for areas that I've had to grind in, and that was where it was very helpful.
Yeah, when you farm, it's definitely a good rune to add because you want to get the most echoes out of it. But I'm saying, just for casual play, it's not really necessary. You know, unless you're trying to farm for a specific something, then yeah, definitely the health boost is needed.
Yup. Yeah, I'm sticking with health vial maximum because it gives me more health. I really like the visceral attacks restore HP, and I might hold on to the claw mark since that was a blessing right there. And
you could always go look at Maria if you want to. It doesn't activate the fight when you go into her arena. It only activates when you talk to her.
And I'm gonna leave impurity in because that honestly gives me more access to summoning partners, because everywhere else is like, yeah, vial HP recovery up from the radiance, health, yeah, I don't think it matters much.
Well, the only other boss you will need that is for Lawrence, because for Mikolash and Murgo you don't summon NPCs summons either.
Yeah.
So you do those solo, unless you ask for someone's help. But honestly, I feel like Mikolash and Murgo's Wet Nurse are really easy compared to like the first bosses, so I don't particularly think you'll need that much help with those. But...
Yep. Yeah, it's just you know, when I look up the saving spots, I'm like, okay. But for those that don't require it, like the ones you just said, yeah, I guess ones like the Radiance and the Corruption are fine. It's just, you know, if you lose health so easily in the game, it's like they're practically not even worth it sometimes. Alright, so I think I'm gonna stop here, and then once I've done that, I'm gonna go apologize to Dad because you know, booming voice, I can't help it. I'm talking softly right now, but I hate it when that happens because I get in the moment. Hey, they wanted me to talk thanks to therapy, and well, talk I did.
Well, that is true.
Probably not the way they intended, but it is what it is.
Well, at least you're lively. It's better than, you know, sounding boring.
Twist it off.
that and
What is
locked
it you
in
desire?
a metaphor in a proverbial prison in my own head.
Very well.
Exactly. So I would
Let
prefer
the echoes
lively and
become
not,
your
you know,
strength.
the latter. So
Yep.
Let me stand.
Oh, it's now 44,622 to level up the next thing. Ugh.
that is such a little bit of echoes.
Yeah, I've got like
I have to struggle to level up my first character now. I'm just like, oh my god, I need so many fucking souls.
I've got vitality and endurance for 30, strength and skill both 20, and blood tinge and arcane 18. I'm trying to get those two at least, the latter two at least a 20, so that way it's solid.
Very well.
But
Yeah.
let me check my my blood vials, see if they're still good, because I had to buy a whole bunch. 238. Oh, I'm still good on them. Yeah, because I was down to like 20 or 70 like the other night, and I had to grind for them. Get them back before I continued after Ludwig. Or maybe it was
Yeah.
or maybe it was before Ludwig. I don't know. Well, anyway, I'm long, well, it wasn't a long level, but it was definitely a tedious one due to all the awful enemies that they had crawling around.
Oh yeah, I mean your first playthrough of that place is not going to be fun, honestly.
what?
But when you play it again, like since you know everything, you're like, okay, it's not too bad. But the first time, I wanted to just fucking kill myself, and I did that part first time. I ended up dying like 5 seconds into that level. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Ugh. The one enemy in there that drove me nuts the most is in the research hall was the one that throws that hospital equipment around, and he's like banging it all over the place.
God, yeah, the acid, that is so annoying.
So yeah, repetitive, bulk, cheap enemies, didn't like it. I like the overall look and layout, it's just the enemies ruin it, and the boss also didn't help. It was practically Castle Canehurst all over again, only worse.
You learn to appreciate those places later on.
Oh, I appreciate them from their aesthetic, I really do. But, yeah, in terms of enemies and bosses, I didn't particularly care for them, but that may change depending on what I hit. Hell, there were enemies that I thought would be hard, like the amygdala, but really they ended up being pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm gonna continue tomorrow afternoon, my time, with more Bloodborne, and look forward to seeing you on the chat if you so choose.
Indeed.
And thanks for trying to help despite technical difficulties. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So, yeah, night. And, yeah, the failed ones are done. That area's done. Just only thing to do except go forward and backward eventually to fight Lawrence, and I'll see where that goes eventually. So thank you all everyone for joining. I'll be back tomorrow, and thank you again, Judy. You're a big help as always.
I'm glad I could be.
So I'm gonna go hit the sack, and I wish you a good night and pleasant dreams as well.
Likewise.
So yeah, good night everyone.